There was a man called Kitiibwa who lived in the Gayaza village where love and unity reigned. He lived with his mother, a very kind and joyful woman. But in no time, his mother fell ill with an unknown sickness that left her bedridden for months. Kitiibwa tried all sorts of remedies. Traditional healers who did everything within their power, pastors who prayed for her, and even burning secret incense. But nothing worked. His mother's health deteriorated with each passing day. One evening, an elder visited to check on his mother. As he was leaving, he called Kitiibwa outside and told him that his mother's time was near, and there was nothing he could do except pray. However, Kitiibwa could not accept this, as his mother was his world, the guide who raised him and taught him to work after his father's death. One day, while feeding his mother, Kitiibwa remembered a story his grandmother told him about the lost souls, spirits of the dead that ruled a hidden path leading to an ancient tree in the darkest forest. This tree was said to hold powers to grant wishes, but the path was so dangerous that no one who ventured there ever returned. Kitiibwa made up his mind to go there, caring little about the risk, as he saw it as a chance to heal his mother. When he told the villagers about his plan, they begged him not to go and shed stories of men and women who vanished in that forest, their screams echoing for decades. But their warnings did not stop him. One morning, guided by his moon book, Kitiibwa entered the forest. It was eerily silent at first, but as he ventured deeper, the atmosphere grew stranger. The trees turned cold, and the air felt heavy, pressing against his chest. Whispers began to fill the air. He heard a soft, familiar voice calling, "Come, my son." He looked around but saw no one. "I left my mother back in the village. There's no way she could be here," Kitiibwa thought. Taking a deep breath, he pressed on. The path grew narrower and darker. Suddenly, he saw his mother standing in the middle of the forest. She looked as though she had been there before him. "Come on, don't leave me," she pleaded. She looked so real, but he knew she was not his mother. "You are not my mother. Get out of my way," he said firmly. The figure vanished, dissolving into smoke. Kitiibwa had passed the first test and knew there would be more challenges ahead. Hours passed as he moved forward. The noises grew louder, and the shadows darker. He caught flashes of movement at the edge of his vision, figures drifting between the trees, watching him. At one point, he heard his father's voice, but he knew it couldn't be real, since his father had died long ago when Kitiibwa was just a boy. Ignoring the voice, he pressed on with determination. The shadowy figures faded away as he kept moving. At last, he reached the end of the path. The forest opened into a clearing bathed in unnatural light. In the center stood an ancient tree, beneath which sat an old woman with wrinkled skin. She looked up at Kitiibwa as he approached. "My mother is dying, and I want her to live longer," he told her. "What will you give in return?" "Every gift has a price," she replied. "Are you willing to pay for it?" Kitiibwa agreed, though he did not know the price. All he wanted was to heal his mother. The old woman reached into a hole and pulled out a small leaf. "Give her this. Put it into tea before the sun rises. But remember, boy, what you give is what you lose," she said. Before he could ask what she meant, the woman and the tree vanished into thin air. The forest fell silent, and Kitiibwa returned to the village. He found his mother still alive. Following the instructions, he boiled the leaf into tea and gave it to her. The next morning, Kitiibwa's mother woke up healthy and strong. She wondered what could have caused her miraculous recovery. However, to her despair, she discovered that her only son had passed away. Heartbroken, she fell into depression. When the villagers came to check on her, they told her about Kitiibwa's visit to the ancient tree, and how he unknowingly agreed to be the sacrifice for her health. Though she lived to be 134 years old, her life ended in misery because of the loss of her son.